So practice test 3, 3B. All right, you got 3 pretty easy problems up here. Tell me, what shape? Parabola. Square, parabola. You know it's going right 1 and up 2. So I'm going to label that point, draw my parabola, and done. That's it. Half a point for the right shape. The other half of the point for having it in the right spot and labeled. Easy. Oh, what about this one? It's a V. And where's he? Left one, up one. Make sure your parabolas are rounded and your V's are nice and pointy. Ooh. There's been a kind of a challenge one on every practice test. I think this is the challenge one. All right, well, first of all, what shape is this?
Like a line that goes on.
Okay, this is your exponential. So I'm going to go ahead.
Starting at 0, 1.
I'm going to go ahead and draw the regular exponential. Right here, I'll kind of dash it in. That is my regular exponential. That's what I should have memorized. That's what's on my note card. Okay. What am I doing to it? Moving it up 2. So the whole picture, I like that scissors, I'm cutting it out and pasting it up 2. So see this asymptote right here? He's going, he's moving. He's now going to be up here at 2 because he got picked up. This point also got picked up. So now it's at 3. Right? Because we went up 2. So there it is. I'll get my dashed one out of there so it's not confusing. Can you see how it's exactly the same shape? Now it's up 2. All right, let's see. There's 2 more. Of those. Yesterday. What's happening in problem E? What's happening here? We're taking our cosine and moving it down 2. So once again, I think I will draw my regular cosine. You don't have to do this, but it helps me. So, what do I recognize about my cosine? What's it doing?
Starts at 1 and goes
Negative 1 to 1. So these are the normal boundaries of the cosine. So I'm taking those boundaries and bringing them down 2. So what happens to negative 1 if it goes down to 1? Negative 3. And what happens to 1?
Negative 1.
Okay. So the boundaries of the new picture are now here and here. Would you agree with that? So I've got this cosine picture that's doing the old up and down thing, but now it's going up and down between negative 1 and negative 3. last one, oh my gosh, Mrs. Ford was feeling froggy when she wrote this problem. What's different about it? Ooh, there's a negative out in front. What's that do? It's a directional thing, but it's not a left and right, it's an up and down. So, kids, I know you did this last year. When you studied parabolas last year, what happened when you put a negative in front of it? It flipped upside down. Anything you put a negative in front of is gonna flip upside down. So what does this look like? Forget the negative for a minute. What does that look like? 2 to the right. So if I were gonna graph that, it would look like this. Would everybody agree with that? But there was a negative out in front of it. So it's gonna take that up and out and make it go down and out. Anytime you put a negative in front of something, it's going to turn it upside down. All right. Number 4. Are we okay with part 3? All right, part 4. This is our little function section. So again, we've got just some basic functions here, just random. Okay, so what is that first one? What am I doing here with this very first problem?
Just multiplying them.
Just multiplying them. And I love the way you say that. Just multiplying them. Yeah, duh, just multiply them. That's all we have to do. Don't make it hard. We're just multiplying them. So we're taking p of x, which is 2x squared, and we're multiplying it by q of x, which is negative 3x plus 1. And we're getting an answer. Alright, so we'll multiply, distribute. So what do you get here?
Negative 6x cubed.
Beautiful. And what do you get here? Done. Okay, we're done. All right, what's the next one mean? It's a little bit different. What does it mean?
X in the P and then fill that in the Q.
Couldn't hear you what?
Put X in the P and then put that answer in the Q.
So this literally says, take the P function, which is right here, and put it into Q. So we're gonna take whatever P is, and we're gonna plug it in for X in Q. P goes into Q. So negative 3 times 2x squared plus 1. Whatever P is gets plugged in for the X in Q. So 2x squared goes right here. So what's the answer?
Negative 6x squared plus 1.
Done. What does this mean?
Plug 2 in for P.
It's a 2-part problem. So we're gonna find P of 2 first. Okay, then homework, some of you messed this up. This just means put 2, whatever is here goes in for X, okay? Takes the place of X. So 2 goes into P, so it's gonna be 2 times 2 squared. 2 goes right here. So 2 times 2 squared, what does that equal? That equals 8. If you said 16, you're doing it wrong. 2 squared times 2. Order of operations. All right, now put -1 in the cube. I got 4. Did you get 4?
Yep.
And then this problem says to take those 2 answers and add them. So the answer is 12. Now, guys, are there any X's in this problem? Then there better not be any X's in your answer. Are there X's in this problem?
Yep.
So there's X's in my answer. You start with X's, you're gonna end with X's. If you start with numbers, you're gonna end with numbers. Okay, one more. P of Q of 0. This is another 2-step problem, but it's not, like this was 2 separate problems. This is not. This is one problem, but in 2 steps. So I'm gonna find Q of 0. So what's Q of 0? 1. If I put in 0, I get 1. Then I take that 1 and plug it into P. So P of 1 is, what's P of 1? 2. 1 squared is 1 times 2. And that's the answer to the problem. Find the implicit functions for this. I gave you a huge hint here, answer blanks over here. What do we need to do? Yeah, we need to get y by itself. Now, please, be careful. If you decide you're gonna subtract x squared, I'm 100% for that. But then you have negative y squared equal 25 minus x squared. So you're gonna have to divide by -1. So now we have y squared equal to negative 25 plus x squared. Now we're ready to square root. So y equals the square root of negative 25 plus x squared. And y equals the negative square root of negative 25 plus x squared. Now, I said it before, I'll say it again. Don't touch them. Don't mess with them. Everything you do is going to be wrong, so don't do any of it. There's no i's. You can't cancel any negatives. Just leave it. This is it. Okay? And then what in the heck? Number 6, we haven't had a number 6 before, and we won't have a number 6 on your test. Your test is the 5. This is kind of an extra one I threw in there. Not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I'm going to go ahead and run through this one. This is kind of the opposite of the one I just erased. Remember, this means you put n into m. So somebody has already done that and gotten an answer. The question is, what was the m and what was the n? Now, it's easier than you might think. Two things are happening in this problem. what's happening in this problem? We're taking x and multiplying it by 3 and subtracting 7, right? In that order. We have to times by 3 and then subtract 7. So when I write a function like this, which letter comes first? Do I do m first or n first? N. Right, N. Please look this way. Let's start with N. So N is going to be the function that multiplies by 3. Because we said in this problem, we have to multiply by 3 and subtract 7 in that order. So the first thing that's going to happen is multiply by 3. So take an x and times it by 3. Now, what's the second thing that has to happen? You have to subtract 7. So you have to take whatever your answer is and subtract 7. There are your two functions. Now, notice that when I write the functions, I use x. I don't use anything else. I just plain x. I times x by 3. I subtracted 7 from x. On the test, you will have to take those two functions and build that. This you have to do. You have to do this. So let's practice that. Let's see if we're right. Let's check our answer. This says take the n function and plug it into m. That's what this says. So if I take n and plug it into m, won't I have 3x minus 7? Which is exactly what I was supposed to have. So these are the right two functions. That is not a required question on your test, so don't panic about it. Don't waste more time on it. Just wanted to throw it out there for you to think about. Okay? All right. We have done 3 practice tests. We have practice and practice and practice. So with that in mind, who has a question about something that we need additional practice on? Or maybe I turned back a homework paper and it wasn't good. I'm not sure why you got all that pink on there, or all that red on that homework paper.
Can we do like horizontal and vertical asymptotes?
I would do one more.
High and low.
Would be one more whole and asymptote problem. All right, here we go. So here's the problem. We're finding vertical, horizontal, and whole. There's our problem. All right, so what do we do first? Giovanni, you want to turn around, put your feet on the floor, sit up, like you're sort of engaged here? All right, what happens first? First we have a factor. So, does the numerator factor x minus 5x plus 2? How about the bottom, denominator?
It does.
Yes.
You have to take out
What
2
can I do
first.
there?
Take out the 2.
Take out a 2,
And circle square.
keep the 2,
And then x
Minus
plus
2,
2,
x
x
plus
plus 2.
x plus 2, x minus 2.
Oh my gosh, we
Oh my gosh,
Cancel.
it cancels. So we are left with x minus 5 on the top and 2x minus 2 on the bottom, right? So tell me something.
The whole and x.
We're gonna have a hole,
-2.
and it's gonna be where x is
-2.
-2. And what will the y be?
Plug in for the
Hey, guys, if I wanted to teach 3rd grade, I'd have been a 3rd grade teacher. Come on, you're better than this. All right, what do I do with my -2? Plug it into the equation right here. So -2 minus 5, 2 times -2 minus 2, what have I got?
Negative
Negative
seven
7
A negative 8.
over 2 times negative 4. Did you get 7/8?
Yep.
Alright, what else? Horizontals where? Did somebody say 1/2? Look, kids, isn't it 1/2?
Yeah.
How do we get horizontals? We
Greatest power.
box them? Alright, how about vertical? Do I have any verticals? I sure do, I have 1. X can't be 2, right? Vertical asymptotes are what X cannot be. X can't be 2. There we go. Does every problem we do like this have all this stuff?
No.
No. Sometimes these are nones, right? Holes are nones when nothing cancels. Horizontal asymptotes are nones when, in order to do this, you have to put a 0 in the bottom, right? Can't do that. All right, anybody else have a homework or some other kind of question to ask? Yes?
Did you like, number 3, that was on the practice test, you really sketch the following.
Okay, which kind of sketch do you want to do? I mean, there's 6 parts to that, so which,
Like the f of x stuff. It's if you draw like the squiggles and all that.
okay, so a piecewise function.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Where's my squiggly gonna happen? Right here? Okay. What's that top equation?
Absolute value.
It's a V, but where is it V'ing from? Not up to,
Right.
right to, it's V'ing from here. So it crosses right there
Open circle.
in an open circle, and I'm keeping this side of it.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and erase that piece. That'll be better. All right. What's this?
Line.
That's a line that hasn't moved. It's still going through the origin, right? But it has a slope of 2. So it looks like that. It crosses right here,
Closed circle.
closed circle,
Keep the right.
and I'm keeping
The right.
to the right, so I'm getting rid of all this, keeping this right here. I'll get rid of my squiggle, and there it is. All right, who else? Jacob?
Have we gone over implicit functions yet?
No, up here, I mean, we did already on the practice test, yes, but not,
Can we go over one of those again?
yeah. Directions are gonna say find the implicit functions. So the equation's gonna look something like this. Find the implicit function, so what do we need to do?
Move the 4x to the other side.
So y y squared equals 4x plus 7.
Square root both sides.
And then no matter what happens, we just leave it alone. No matter what. That one you probably wouldn't do anything with anyway, but no matter what, you just leave it alone, right?
Thank you.
And then will be 2 answer blanks, and you'll just, one will be the positive root, one will be the negative root. All right, to the board, let's have, is there 4 of you up here? Let's go, we're in practice. Everybody's going to the board. I mean, only 4 at a time, but